This is the latest from the Laramie Live Radio News Center. Today we have Matt Burkhart here today to talk about his run for House District 14. Thank you so much for being here.
Eve, thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. So to kind of just jump into this interview, what is your background with the state of Wyoming and Albany County as well?
I've lived in Albany County for about 25 years. I started out going to school here at UW. I got a bachelor's in electrical engineering. Met my wife here during grad school. We've been married for 19 years, have 2 kids in our Albany County schools, one at the middle school and one at the lab school. She's an educator in town and works at in the school system. I work for the university in the atmospheric science department. I'm an electrical and software engineer and concentrate work on our research aircraft, designing instruments for lab use, and then we have mobile laboratories that do some work throughout the state of Wyoming. Active in local church, the St. Paul's Newman Center and St. Lawrence O'Toole. Been on the parish council and the building committee. Spent pretty much my whole life in Wyoming. During college, I had the opportunity in summers to work in the oil and gas industry, which is a big part of our state. Locally, I am involved with the Snowy Range Snowmobile Club and do a lot of the land use planning and interfacing with land use managers for that group. And I enjoy serving the community as a member of our local search and rescue group. I've been doing that for quite a few years, serve as vice president of that organization. And I'm also a volunteer firefighter and EMT with one of our rural fire departments. So it's nice to be able to help our citizens and help our community, especially those citizens who find themselves in a situation that's, they really can use somebody to be compassionate and help them out of a tough situation. So being able to give back to our community in those aspects is really rewarding.
That's awesome. So you have a lot of kind of background public service in the area with all church and search and rescue and such.
Yes, it's very much public service. I get called at 11 o'clock at night or 3 o'clock in the morning to go look for somebody or help out, and that's, I feel that that's really important, and as a reflection on the community is the volunteerism of all of our citizens that give back to the community and make it the great place to live that it is.
That's awesome. So since you're running for House District 14, I was kind of wondering what your background was in the political sphere and any experience with that or anything that you could take from your public service to go into that. So
I'm just a citizen, just a resident of Albany County, lives here, no previous political service. I am familiar with the state of Wyoming and state government. I'm the current chair of the Wyoming State Trails Advisory Council, which is a group of folks that have been appointed by the governor of Wyoming, and the group is created through statute to administer some grant funding that the state gets as part of the federal highway taxes that come back to the state. So I'm the multiple use representative on that, representing all types of recreational interests, and that group considers applications for grant money to be distributed out, talks about trail issues throughout the state, how the state is funding and reacting to user needs in that area. And as part of that, I've had the opportunity to work with departments in the state, legislators, testify before committees regarding legislation that may affect the recreational community in Wyoming. Helped out on the Governor Meade's Outdoor Recreation Task Force, and so my experience with the state has very much been on the volunteer side, representing aspects of the community. So no previous elected offices or anything of that nature.
All right, so you started with volunteer work. What kind of inspired you to run for House District 14?
So we have a number of big issues that are facing our state coming up with respect to economy, education, how we fund programs, and I felt that my background in engineering would lend itself well to helping solve some of those problems. I've lived here for a long time. I want Wyoming, I want Albany County to be a place where my kids can grow up here, get an education here, maybe have the opportunity for employment, start a business, raise a family, and just keep Albany County and Wyoming that wonderful place it is, where we have the number of personal freedoms that we have. We have this ability to have nice open spaces and just this Western lifestyle that we all enjoy living here for. And so I think that my proven ability to solve really complex problems and involve various stakeholders, diverse groups of people that come together and create solutions that are in the public good lends itself well to this position. As an engineer, a professional engineer, we pride ourselves in doing work, solving problems that really benefit the public, and that's what being a representative for the people of the city of Laramie and the Albany County is giving them a voice at the state level and really working diligently to solve the problems that affect them while involving them as stakeholders in a collaborative process to come up with a solution that really is beneficial for the city and the county.
That's awesome. What are some of these main issues you'd kind of like to focus on if you were elected? Kind of like the big ones that you see.
So I think the three big ones that you'll hear from just about anybody you talk to: economy, education, and taxes revenue. Mm-hmm. Economy's the big one. Wyoming has been funded very well by the minerals industry for many, many years. And with some of the COVID pandemic, changes in the marketplace, being able to adapt and diversify our economy to not only leverage the minerals and the industry generation where we can to continue their wonderful contribution to the state, but start to bring in, say, an energy diversity in the portfolio of solar, wind, some of those other generation methods that can help diversify that portfolio, allow Wyoming to continue to be an energy provider to the nation, and the tax benefits of having those developments. I know we have 2 solar facilities are being considered in Albany County. We have a wind generation facility that can help with the taxes and revenue to the county, but we also have to remember that we really have to respect private property rights while we're going through this process and have a collaborative involvement from the people that are ultimately both going to be affected and benefit from this. Diversifying ourselves in the ag industry, making sure our ag producers have the resources that they need to get their products to market efficiently, looking at opportunities where we can bring processing or distribution into the state, and how we really get across this concept of made in Wyoming. This is truly a made in Wyoming product. Our ranchers, our ag folks that are real conservationists of the land and their animals, and how we use that to market that product and show that it is a premier product in that area. technology and manufacturing. We have a lot of resources at the university for entrepreneurship and spinning off products and potential ideas, and how do we give those folks the resources that they need to grow those products. Small businesses in the city and in the county, that's where it starts, investing in those. Do they have the resources that they need to grow? As a representative, I like to, it's not so much that you specifically are creating one job or another, but it's your job as a representative to help pass legislation or look at what's available to businesses to help enable them to really succeed, create a positive and nurturing business ecosystem where they can thrive. And recognizing, in conjunction with our local business and state level advocacy groups, what businesses fit with the talent and the resources that are available in those areas, and then aggressively pursuing businesses to expand within the state, making sure that if we see an opportunity to grow a small business and encourage them, that we do that. And as we look throughout the country, there's a number of opportunities, I think, for businesses who want to relocate to an area that has maybe a different climate or a different type of opportunity for their workforce, and really aggressively pursuing them, showing them the benefits of locating in Wyoming. Education, really investing in our people, putting that money towards our educators and things that directly benefit our students. We don't want our students to just have an adequate education. We want them to have an exceptional education. And that, I believe, comes from investing in our teachers, investing in that support structure that's going to give our students the skills and knowledge that they need to help Wyoming's economy in the long run, whether it's running a family business or going into a service or professional line of work, or maybe starting their own business. And so at the K-12 level, making sure our teachers have the skills and the support that they need to take their passion for education and instill that in our students. Concentrating on STEM, vocational agriculture, and technology, technical type curriculums, so that those students can have, if they get out of school and they want to pursue a career right away, giving them the skills that they can jump into that technical vocational workforce. Our community colleges and UW, same thing, supporting the students through wonderful professors and educators that are going to give them a world-class education that then they can take, stay in Wyoming, go somewhere else in the country or in the world, and then hopefully encourage folks to come back, either through companies, graduate school, research back to the university. I think research and partnership with industries in Wyoming is very important to help continue and solidify that connection between Wyoming as a state land grant institution and the industries and the people of Wyoming, and make sure that the university is helping to improve the quality of life for Wyoming, help recruit companies to come in, recruit these world-class researchers that I know we can attract. Finally, taxes and revenue generation. I think that we need to keep our eye on this. I think it's very simple-minded for folks to just say, oh, let's just pass an income tax. personal corporate income tax, when in order to have something sustainable, I think we need to look at a combination of cuts and look at making our revenue generation, making it sustainable for the programs that we provide. I think there's essential services that the state government can provide, especially those things that people can't reasonably do for themselves. So continuing to have a sense of compassion and empathy when we look at these programs and cuts, and make sure that we're keeping this a Wyoming for all of us. There's some areas in the state I think that we can look at and have state agencies either be more self-sufficient or rely less on general funding and more on funding from those folks who use those services. So I think that's an area those are areas we can look at. Balancing this revenue generation without just jumping to increasing taxes. Look at it a combination of both. And we need to look long term, 3, 5, 10, 20 years, rather than just be reactionary right now. And I think going back to my education background, or engineering background, being able to look at the process of identify the problem, look at all the solutions, involve the stakeholders, put a couple solutions out there, work them back and forth, propose our best solution at the time, and then constantly reevaluate. Is it continuing to work for the citizens of Wyoming? Are they getting small and efficient government? And make changes where necessary. Having the state involve private industry where they can to provide services, I think is really important, and it directs some of our government spending towards the small business and private industry to help spur some of that development that we need right now. So other two issues that I'm concerned with and really want to work on are our public lands.
Yes.
We value those very much for recreation, grazing resources, and continuing to make sure that those are available for multiple use. That outdoor recreation is really big right now. We've all seen this with COVID and folks wanting to distance themselves. They're all coming to Wyoming. They're all wanting to get outside and explore what we have, and making sure we can continue to capture that as a revenue source, as well as showing the world what Wyoming really is. Outdoor recreation businesses, whether they're manufacturing, guiding, the hospitality folks that support our visitors, our guide services that take folks out and show them, the beauty of Wyoming, making sure we support that and finding a place for that while we're diversifying our economy and generating revenue. Also want to work on making sure that we have support and equitability in our law enforcement, our fire, our EMS, and that all of the folks, especially in Albany County, but Wyoming in general, have access to these important services that maintain our quality of way of life, that folks know that they're in a safe and protected community, and if they do have a problem, that there are folks there that can help them up. This really is about service to our community. Albany County needs a voice in the legislature that can be effective from day one, that can work with the current makeup of the legislature and really get things done. Albany County does have a limited voice. We have to advocate for ourselves, and I think I'm in a very good position to do that. I'm known to some of the legislators. I've testified before committees. I know how the process works, and for our citizens, I can be effective on day one. Welcome anybody to get in touch with me. You can email me, matt@mattburkhart.com. Go to my website, mattburkhart.com. or on Facebook, if you like that, it's Matt for Wyoming, the number 4. Be happy to chat with you, see what your concerns are, see what your issues are, what you feel important to Albany County and the city of Laramie. Because in the end, that's my job, is to represent you, your views, and advocate for Albany County and the city of Laramie at the state level. And I think I can do that and will do that very effectively.
All right, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks, Steve. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
You're very welcome.